You're here on Facebook Live with metro.co.uk. So I'm here with two lovely people from the Fear the Walking Dead, Sharman and Danay García. Thank you so much for being here with us today. How are you guys?
Amazing.
Yeah? Good. So I'm so glad that you guys are still with us, on the show. You know how shows like this go. You don't know who's leaving, you don't know who's coming. Do you guys ever get scared when you get your script? Like, how do you feel when you get your script? Do you get nervous, like opening up thinking, is this it for me and my character?
Kind of like for me, like when you walk into this kind of show, it goes with the territory that anytime you can just go away and turn into a zombie. So and the thing about it is that they don't let us know what's going to happen in the next episode.
Okay.
Like literally we're shooting the second episode, we don't know what's going to happen on the third episode. None of us. It's like we try to check on each other. Nobody knows. So it just kind of comes with the territory. And that keeps you being, you have to be in the present, and you have to just go with it. You got an episode, you have to just attack it like it's the last one that you're going to get. So hopefully they keep coming. But at least that's my approach, and I know some of us, we talked about it because it was hard at the beginning. It's hard to create a character and put everything out without knowing whether it's gonna die tomorrow. It's not a natural feeling or emotion.
But it's exciting. What about you, Daniel?
Well, I think it's there's something of it where you end up falling in love with your character in some way, and you feel like you fight for that character's life as almost as strong as you would for your own. So like you don't, as long as you feel like you've told that story, or you've told like an aspect of this person, that you can do that, that you feel like you're attached to this world, you're attached to the people, and that's always like something you don't want to get taken away, because you don't want to have that part of you ripped away, kind of taken away from you. So of course there's an aspect of you when you read a script and you're going, am I still speaking at the end of this?
That must be nerve-wracking, but it makes it really exciting for viewers, and you guys really do a great job on that. Where do your characters pick up when the season returns? What can you tell us?
Where would you?
Well, I
think you picked up from the start. You never dropped it.
It starts with I think you really begin, when we've ended this first part with setting up this world and the ranch and the nation and this the dam, and you've set the kind of the framework for the season, and then really the second half is the unraveling of that, and also there's a murder mystery, because the end, like my father is killed, so. And something's not right about that. Something's wrong. So really, once you add that to the truce and you add that to the whole environment, you're really dealing with, a kind of a very uneasy situation. And you'll see it doesn't take long for it to kind of all blow apart.
That is exciting. I just hope that you guys make it
survive through it.
And you are not, in the costumes and in the zombie costumes. Speaking of all of the zombie stuff, I know then you don't use the word zombie whilst you're on the show, but do you ever, like, when I watch it, when I first started watching it, I used to get really jumpy. I used to walk around on the street and kind of be like, have nightmares just because it was all up in my mind. Do you ever, whilst you're on set, kind of feel a kind of way around the extras who are, in like all zombified and everything? How is it walking around with them?
For me, it got to me like at lunchtime. Like at lunchtime, I would lose my appetite at the beginning. Just, we're like in a room full of, everybody, the crew, the cast, the background artist, dressed in their costume. Like really, they don't go away from it. So I found it really hard to eat. Well, I have like a full-on table full of zombies. I'm like, I think I ate my trailer. I need to eat. I can't just be polite at this moment. But little by little, then you just hang out and just kind of visually start getting used to this, just creatures, because they become creatures that they never get away from, like not even at lunchtime. So I mean, for me that was kind of weird at the beginning.
Yeah, you become immune to it after a little while. You become immune to the things, like to the point where I don't. It's quite hard. It's like with guns. We have a lot of guns. And dealing with a lot. And like it's almost a kind of you become immune to it very quickly. At first you're like, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And like to the point where I don't know how I would react in a real situation. You know, I'd almost be like, oh, that's not a real gun. You know? Well, that person's already dead. You know, and so like, I don't know. You kind of, it's amazing how quickly your brain becomes accustomed to it all.
Awesome. So obviously we're on Facebook Live at the moment, and we've got some questions from fans. So we've got a question for Daniel, for you, from Pam. And Pam wants to know, must be amazing to be a Londoner and end up in Mexico. What do you miss about London?
Like, you know, I haven't been back in a while. It's really weird. It's really weird because like things like the metro and like all of these like references are like so much a part of my childhood, whereas like any of the American references or press or things at Comic-Con, they're outside of my conception, you know, I never grew up with them. So it is a weird thing coming back and like and almost kind of getting to see and meet people who are part of my childhood and part of my like upbringing, and so I miss it hugely. It is weird being in Mexico because it's weird representing a very American story. Like there's a lot of Brits on the show. It's like we're all sitting around like you know this pickup truck with these guns and this very like American military outfit, and you're like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, why are we here? And like we just chat away about football or whatever it is, and
just British stuff.
You just see the British stuff. You know, the English boys walking, kicking the ball, and you're like,
it's like what you do.
This is so great.
And like we're telling such an American story, and yet like none of us really have any connection to that story.
Well, I mean,
I think that's the beauty of it, though. It's I mean, you guys are from the UK. Alicia is from Australia. I'm from Cuba. I mean, we're like so many foreigners in one little spot, and it's interesting that the British are the ones that are like, they're in a pack right now.
We roll around in a pack. How we do it.
Well, you guys do such, you know, you just mentioned you're from Cuba, and you know you're playing, you know, a Mexican part. You do really convincing accents. Like, kudos to that. But how do you keep it? Like, how do you do it? Especially with you as well. You know, being a Brit, playing an American. How do you do that?
Yeah, I think it's a skill that with time you start developing. I remember when I first got to a show and I started talking to Frank, you know, the English accent will be in between takes, and then action, then he will switch to American. I mean, it was the first time that I actually got to see that really first-handed. And because he lives in London. He hasn't been in the US, like he doesn't live there. So it's such a skill that he just picked up, and I obviously picked up for my character. And Alicia has a very strong Australian accent too, and they say action and she switches completely. And so I found that like it's a skill that you develop because like for me, I always play foreigners. Like I never play a Cuban character. So for me, it just comes like, okay, this character is a Mexican person, so I have to embrace this. If it's from Colombia, it will be a Colombian accent. But it's and it's a Colombian accent in English, which is it's not even in my language. So it's like 2 steps that you have to step. And for me, it's like a skill that you start like developing. All my characters are not from my country.
What about you, Daniel?
It's like one of those things you develop over a period of time, and then like you know you're in trouble when you start dreaming in the accent. When you start dreaming in an American accent, that's when you know you're really screwed. You know, like
do you keep it once you're on set? Accent.
Sometimes, like I'll keep.
Well, when the boys start talking, the English accent starts flying. It goes off the roof.
You start like looking, you know, using like Cockney rhyming stuff. That's when you become more British than you even are in real life. All right, geezer. All right, lads.
Just to make sure you're representing over there.
That is so rough. That question is.
Do you want to answer that?
Someone's just asked, Daniel, kiss, marry, kill, Alicia, Kim, Danay.
One of them we have to kiss.
Wow.
All right, Danay.
Wow.
There we go. This is a tough question because Danay is
amazing
right here.
Awkward.
Right, exactly.
If you just look straight at me and just see.
Right, I'm just going to pretend she's not here.
I'm going to like disappear right now.
You know, I said in an interview, like I drove with Alicia, and she almost killed me. So I feel like I'd kill her. because I just don't want to have to drive in her car anymore.
It was a long drive too, so for a while.
So Alicia's kill.
Yeah, I'd kill Alicia quite easily, and I'd probably marry Kim.
Oh,
I believe that.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, at this point.
I'm slightly in love with Kim.
okay.
Yeah, which is a worrying kind of obsession, which I think might be a Troy thing, but I think I've developed it.
You're becoming your character.
Exactly, I'm like
Okay.
becoming like slightly obsessed, and then I mean, kissing Danay is not a bad, like, do you know what I mean?
Supposed to be covering your ears.
Yeah, I'll definitely listen to it. But yeah, I think though that would be my answer.
Yeah, okay. And we have another question from a fan, and this is for you, Danay. Sarah wants to know, does Luciana's relationship with the others develop, particularly Nick?
Does what?
Does your character's relationship with the others develop, particularly with Nick?
Yes, it does. I mean, it always does. I mean, that's the beauty of the show. It has to go, it has to develop. And when you think things are just dying, that's when something will grow out of that. And that's kind of like what the show is about. When you think it's over, that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
And the beginning is a new beginning. It's not going to be the same beginning as it was before.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I mean, my introduction to the family was because of Troy. I mean, Troy just put us all in this little, in his mind, oh, you go here, you go there, and somehow we fought to find each other.
Yeah.
And then that's when I really meet the family, and that little time that we were together until we got spread again.
Yeah.
And then I leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, the little I met the family, I really felt that they embraced me. I mean, Travis died because of me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's trying to save me because it's like she's family.
Yeah.
She's this. So getting to know that little part of them, of course, it will develop into some sort of relationship.
Yeah. And hopefully we see more of that as well.
Oh.
Yeah, hopefully. And also, a lot of people want to know, who is the funniest on set? Like, who is the Joker? Is that you, Daniel?
No, not really. Like the real Joker is Dayton.
Really?
Dayton is so funny.
Who plays Jeremiah Otto. He is a
Really?
We know he's coming, and it's a fun day.
I mean, he's a total mess. He's what he is. He doesn't know any of his lines. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know where he is, and he doesn't mind me saying this because I told it to his face. And he's definitely like he's good crack to be around.
Yeah. He's funny.
I mean, you never get through a scene, but it is like it's a good crack.
Yeah.
But then he's incredible actor. Like everything he's done is so cute and charming, and it just.
It's not charming. He's not charming.
You don't find it charming?
No, he's not charming. He's annoying.
God, he's so funny. I laugh so hard in the car with him.
And we also have another comment. I don't think it's a question from someone who says, and Becky says, you aren't eating the afternoon tea. So we have afternoon tea here in front of us, and we don't seem to be indulging into that.
I scoffed myself before this came on, so I feel like I can't eat anymore. So I'm sorry, Becky, but you're going to have to put up with me not eating. You eat away.
Okay, let me give.
Yeah?
Let me just go for it.
You shouldn't hand it to Becky. Don't hand it to Becky. Don't eat it if you don't want to eat it.
Just to please Becky.
Yeah, Becky, you eat yourself. Yeah, you leave Danay alone.
I got it. Cheers to Becky.
Whilst we get into the scone, or as Americans call it, biscuit, I think, but for us, it's a scone. Yeah, it's a scone. So we'll be
afternoon
British.
tea.
Yeah, afternoon tea. So, you know, many fans of the franchise, they would love to see a crossover. And I'm sure you've been asked so many times, but will there be a crossover between The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead? I know the time difference is a bit, not there.
At a time.
Yeah, but do you think that will be a possibility anytime soon?
Well, Robert Kirkman said that there was a possibility that would happen. So maybe.
I mean, I love those guys. I mean, they're so funny. I mean, the Walking Dead, the crowd, the actors. I got to, I got to see them a few times, and they're so funny and they're so passionate. I mean, they've been on the show for 8 seasons now.
Yeah.
And they are like so like, I can't wait to start. And it's like this excitement that I think it comes to that. I think will be like a good addition to their awesomeness.
That's awesome. And I have to ask, if your character came across Negan from The Walking Dead, what do you think your character would do, or what do you think that storyline would be, or what would you want that storyline to be?
Oh, wow. That, I never thought, I mean, I've been saying, oh yeah, I would like that to happen. But
yeah, exactly.
I actually never, like, put it, I think we'll take over the world. I mean, why not? I mean, the one thing I love, I think that this world, the Fear the Walking Dead, I think the one thing that they will learn from the Walking Dead is that they're really a unit.
Mm-hmm.
They don't fight each other. Like, their issues are completely different. And our issues will teach us what not to do anymore.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a good learning thing for them to see us, and for us to see how they have survived all this time.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
And I would love to work with Danay, the other Danay.
Oh yeah.
Our names are Danay.
Yeah, that would be confusing.
Which is so strange. Danay, action, what? Oh my god, for the first time.
So we've got a question for Daniel. You seem to be very popular on our Facebook Live.
Right.
Is it a challenge to play a character with such a complicated personality?
You're really good at reading those.
Oh,
yes,
thank
you are.
Because I just read it as like some complexity, and I was like, maybe it's because I'm jet lagged, but I couldn't read that.
Do I get hired for these
No, it's
things?
you're really good at that.
Thank you.
I like how you like make it so seamless. It's like, you like look at it, and then we just did that, and we were like, I'm reading.
I should be complimenting you guys.
No, and is it hard playing with a complex character? No, it's a joy. It's a joy. Like, it's like something you want as an actor.
Yeah, of course.
You always are fighting somehow to not play stereotypes, not play into certain like tropes that have been done over and over and over again, you always want to have. You want your characters to be an investigation somewhat into like real humanity, and you want them to represent, I think, really, you have to look at yourself in all your roles, and you have to say, like, what can I reveal about myself that is hard for me to reveal, because that's the point. You have to, in order to make anything of any value, I think you have to reveal something of yourself, and I think that hopefully you whatever role you have, you get to reveal or open the audience or the world up to what aspects of you that you might want to hide, and so that's always complex. So that's always a fascinating thing, and it always makes going to work a pleasure. It doesn't matter. We've been shooting for like 7.5 months, and as long as you're still doing that, it will always be a pleasure. It will always be a pleasure to do. It's like going to work and loving what you do. Because it doesn't happen very often. It's a great thing.
Yeah, that's great. I'd love to see Troy, be more complicated as well. He's struggling with good and evil and being
you see
fake scientist.
Second half of the season, you definitely see more
that's
of that.
Great. We'll be looking forward to that. So, I mean, when Troy first came on to, Fear the Walking Dead, he had a famous scene, the spoon scene, which is now called. So CJ has asked a question, one of the fans on Facebook Live. You need to know I'm not over the spoon scene. I guess that's more of a statement than a question. But how was it filming that?
It actually makes like this particular tea set quite a difficult thing for me. It's these
Are you traumatized by spoons?
I can't eat soup now.
Really?
The spoon scene. It's like the first scene we shot as well of the whole scene. Yeah. Funnily enough,
long day.
I shot on the first day of the season. The spoon scene, and I was also shooting on the last day of the thing, so I really feel like I spanned the whole thing, and I watched everybody like deteriorate. The spoon scene, it's a very interesting. Like it's all I knew when I took the character, like when I got the part, was all I knew was I had to be fitted for a spoon in my eye. It was the only thing I knew about my character.
So you got the script, and it was like,
and I was just sitting there with a spoon in my hand, going, okay, how does this work?
How did this get here?
I mean, did it?
How does that work?
I mean, a lot of people would want to know, how real was that? Obviously, you didn't actually get stabbed with a spoon.
Yeah, funny enough, we didn't put a spoon in there. Something with insurance or something. It was actually rather easy. It was easier than you anticipated. But the thing that really got me was watching the thing back again. Is obviously they put sound effects and all of those things in it. And actually, for me, that scene wasn't a bad thing to do. But they put the
the sound effect of the metal scraping against the bone of the eye
saw
socket,
that.
and I was like, "That's enough for me. I'm out." Like
Yeah.
I'd watched
Yeah.
it, I knew what was happening, and
Me
I was
too.
in, and I was like,
I was like this too. I'm like,
"It's
oh.
the noise that
Yeah.
get me." Like that
I think
noise.
that's what got to all of us.
It's
It was
the-
so
Yeah.
hard to say, oh God, not again.
It was wrong in every level.
It really
Yeah.
does me in. that
So
scene.
it just the
Just
noise
the
clearly
noise.
replays in your mind.
Yeah, no, but I just like the idea of like I hate noises that really like wind me, like scraping noises and like bone against metal, especially about
Oh
many
God,
eye socket.
stop.
I'm gonna keep saying it. Just so you don't freak people out.
Stop.
There you go.
Gosh, that scene, yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, guys. Sadly, that's all the time that we have for now. We don't have any more time. But I just wanted to say thank you, Daniel and Danay, for being here with us
Thank
on
you.
metro.co.uk.
Thank you.
And
Metro.co.uk.
stay tuned with metro.co.uk for all the latest entertainment news.